Sorry for killing our conversation with Jesus talk.
I like it.
Anyways, Donald Trump seems like a great topic. You made a great impression there.
Good old tariffs.
How's he doing?
How's he doing?
Good old tariffs. These good old tariffs.
I heard he bought a lot of planes.
Yeah, are we accepting the plane? Did he accept the plane?
What happened?
He
I
did.
think he did.
And he told the reporter that she was stupid because he's like, he referenced a golf reference.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was it?
He says, Sam Snead, if you have a putt and they give you the putt, you take the putt. He's like, you don't putt it because then you're going to miss. If I'm going to get the plane, you take the plane. That's basically what he said.
It's spot on.
I mean, if someone offers you a $500 million plane.
But my only question is, as the leader of the United States, should it be looked at as like a bribe to take something like that? Like is it unethical? I'm not saying it is.
I'm supposedly it's going to the Department of Defense. But
so like, what do they have? And
but if he says no, then
right.
that's the thing. It's like he compared it to, if you say no, then it's going to piss him off that the Saudis that you didn't take the gift.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we've ever had good relationships with the Saudis, so I don't know if it
Get some
matters. As far
Earl.
as
We're
it
making
goes.
a new Disney World there.
WWE does.
Well,
And
I don't
now,
live
now Mickey Mouse does.
that's true.
They're making a brand new theme park.
Well, I guess we love the Saudis now, huh? Is that a thing?
Live golf.
Blood money.
Lit golf.
Blood money.
So the Democrats don't have a good relationship with
Yeah.
Saudi, is what I'm hearing.
The Earl.
Okay, well,
Dig into Earl.
I don't know.
So the basis of your question here is:
I
do we
I
think
just-
it's possibly?
my question as a normal, like, I'm trying to throw politics aside because I don't. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm thinking of it as like somebody comes to you. You're running a company, right?
Yes.
And you don't normally take gifts, but somebody randomly offers you a gift, and you're like, well, somebody gives you a putt. You're gonna take the putt. As an employee of that company, I'm like,
we don't take gifts unless it's a really good gift.
right? It's like, okay.
I had hours and hours of training. We were told if they send you something, you send it right back.
It feels
that is-
unethical to me a little bit, and I understand you could say like, oh, they're going to use the plane for Air Force One, and then there's this question around like the type of plane. Is it like the same? Is it just as old as Air Force One? I get it. I guess it's like this mega. It's a mega jet or
It's a
whatever.
747.
It's a 747, right? You know more about this. You clearly know more about this than I do.
No, I don't.
Jesus.
Remember the last time he was on?
Why are you on that? You can't even talk about the things I want to talk about.
It's a big jet. Bigger than Biden's jet.
So
The biggest of jets.
So let me
Some
ask you
would
this:
say.
747. It is a 747, right?
From what I saw, yeah.
Okay. And the Air Force One right now. Do you know what that is?
I think it's sort of like the
Shoes.
same thing. Yeah.
It's a 747.
Yeah.
So
It's not a bigger version of it, yeah.
Is it a bigger version?
I think so.
The new one is a bigger version. Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out the difference and why you would take it. First of all, and also why you would take it. I guess I don't know. I'm just.
We've been trying to figure out why the guy does what he does for a long time now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have answers. I don't have any answers. Where are we at with the straws? Like, what's going on there? Where
We're
are we
still
at?
saving
With,
the turtle.
where are we saving the turtles?
Probably.
Do we have tariffs? What's happening? Anybody
Well,
figure that out yet?
There's a 90-day pause.
I just want to know
think
what's happening.
On the straws?
on the Chinese tariffs.
On the turtles?
On the tariffs?
Are we not saving the
But
turtles?
what
for 90
about
days?
the turtle?
I don't know. I have no idea what's happening.
Is it all turtles?
I don't know,
Is it
man.
just- what about the snapping turtles?
I'm just,
Well,
What about the
I'm
loggerheads?
just-
They can bite the straws
I'm just
their
exhausted
talons.
by it all.
with their talons.
How much is my iPhone gonna cost in September?
well, right now it shouldn't matter because the tariffs are
Don't know.
paused.
Mhm.
So in September, you're probably fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Will it ever be okay to own a Tesla again?
No.
I don't think so. That's the problem. That's the real thing that we're not talking about. Is like how Tesla went from being like this like shiny toy for like the left, right? And now all those lefties who may have had Teslas and probably sold them, I don't know, maybe have them in their garage. They look at these other people and they're like, "You have a Tesla, you're a piece of shit." And it's like, "Hold on a minute here."
I love the people who
Just got
have
an electric
Teslas
car.
now, but had it for a long time. And it's like, I got it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the bumper sticker. Yeah.
It's just a car, people.
To be fair, I want to make this very clear. I do not give a shit what side people like support. I don't care. What I care about is being a good person,
Yes.
first and foremost, and being genuine. Huh?
So we say the best person.
But I also do find comedy in Donald Trump. And if you don't,
how can you not?
and if you don't, something is wrong with you. I also find comedy in Joe Biden, you know?
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. But it's probably because of Donald Trump.
Any president, you can find some form of comedy in them.
That's fair.
Mhm.
I found comedy in Barack Obama. Who's the Texan that like
George Bush.
that guy.
W.
W.
Yeah.
George W.
I like nits and everything. Damn hippies.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't make fun of politics, what are we doing?
I saw
Doesn't matter
somebody
what
wanted.
side, just make fun of people.
There was somebody pushing to abolish the president, like just do away with the president.
Excuse me?
Be like
Talk
the
about
Pope.
a dictatorship.
I am a little fearful that we may be heading that. I'm going to be dead honest here. I think there are some things that are a little scary. We could be, maybe, I'm not saying, possibly
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Just,
headed in that direction.
things are changing. We got an American Pope. Mhm.
I can't wait to go into church one day and the blood of Christ is going to be my Lord. Just because it's a Chicago Pope.
Well,
Mhm.
CM Pope.
He's also got tested a seventh.
It is
world.
CM Pope.
Mhm. His grandparents lived out in New Orleans.
He's apparently half black.
And
Does,
then-
does that does
Wow.
does that mean the blood of Christ is going to be a like layman's French bread?
No.
Please,
No. Also, I'm not Catholic, so I can't have this conversation. I'm going to say some things that people won't like.
I can marry people, so I'm fine.
I did have to explain to you what the Eucharist tastes like.
well,
Didn't we have that conversation?
yeah, but I take
The bread and wine.
communion like the last Sunday, but that's just what we do at church. But like, that's not something like I guess you have to do. I don't know. Maybe I should read the Bible more. I believe in theology. I like to read and understand theology and then base my religion off of that. So that's shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to go down this rabbit
Going
hole.
to a Catholic school, I think that's the main thing that got me away from like wanting to go to church and like
I like
theology
church.
in general.
I enjoy church. What are you saying?
Like I spent years and years going to Catholic school. That put a disdain in me of wanting to continue going to church and all that.
I hate that we're just hitting this part of the podcast at an hour and 18 minutes because I have so much to say.
We're not going to have an episode next week.
Okay, good. So
It can be split into two
this
if needed.
this conversation alone.
Religion.
No. Yes, but this conversation alone is something that hits near and dear to my heart because
Welcome again to the Whoever Knows podcast.
because my son also feels that way right now, and he just left Rummel.
There was a termite on my foot. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Um,
Termites in your
We're
house.
going to get rid of all the termites.
So my son just
Still
left Rummel,
there.
and one of his comments was
Jesus.
he hated the religious aspect. He does not, and I'm Christian, so like having that conversation is very difficult. I don't even know how to bring it up. I'll be that honest. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right words, and I feel like I'm going to drag this out. So maybe we should just like switch to something else. But
I get what Russ is saying. I didn't go to a Catholic school, went through catechism, so it wasn't as much as exposure. It was once a week, so it's a little bit easier than that. But I could see, because we've talked about it in the past, how I didn't necessarily get pushed away, like just the bad experiences, like going through the baptisms with my son and everything, and they, the first priest we went to was like really judgmental that we weren't married. Like you just have bad experiences sometimes.
It sucks.
And it depends on the person. Like it didn't push me away, but it did make me be like, I don't want to go to that church anymore. You know what I mean? Like it pushed me away from that church, but it doesn't really change everything. But I could see how.
I mean, doing it from like pre-K
I can see
to
it.
8th to high school.
Yeah.
Like
And it's just
truthfully,
12
why
plus
is it
years.
why is it no different than you've done math from kindergarten through 12th grade, you don't ever want to do math again. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing, obviously, right? But like if you I don't know, if it's not something you chose to do, like if your parents made you go do it, and now you're doing this,
absolutely 100%. That's a great point.
That's the way I guess that's the best way to.
That is a great point. I think there's two things to it. I think that's part of it. That's a major part of it. No one can be forced to come to Christ, right? Now I'm getting into my religious background. No one can be forced. Theologically, no one can be forced. It has to be a choice.
Yeah.
You have to choose. If you don't choose, you're not saved.
Yeah.
Like if it's not in your heart, then it's not real. I also believe that a lot of people in the Catholic Church, which frustrates me, are just so judgmental. And I'm judgmental. I'm not perfect. And I'm saying this and I'm judging as I'm saying this, right? Like I understand I'm not perfect. They're not perfect.
Like I've had so many people I went to high school with and the whole time hate.
It's so negative.
And then they leave and get to college and it's like, oh, we don't need to hate.
Mm-hmm.
And they completely change how they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, when you have a theology class that only teaches you hatred for other people.
Which is crazy because theology, depending on what you're studying, right? Like if you're just studying the true Bible, it should not teach hate. You should not come from a place of hate at all because the Bible is not about hate in any way. It's about acceptance and it's about understanding that we're all not perfect and that there's nothing we can do to be perfect.
No.
Nothing. No one will. We will never be perfect. We're all going to live in sin. We're all going to be terrible people.
Yeah.
No matter how hard we try, but we have to try.
Yeah.
So like that's a positive message to me. That's not a negative message to me. So I don't understand why so many other people take that and just drive home the negative part of it. And they judge and they attack and they use the Bible as a weapon.
I would say it would have to be like the teachers, like the people teaching you theology. Like we had teachers in high school, some were awesome. Then you have other ones and it's like, you can't like this person because they're like this. And then it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
And they can't have a reason.
The same situation we were getting my son baptized. The first priest judged us and was like, he straight up told us, he's like, we don't feel comfortable doing it because we're afraid you're going to raise your kids the wrong way, is what he told us. Because we weren't married at the time. But like, here we are trying to get our son baptized. But he's like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Whereas the other one's like, hey man, you want to go grab a beer after we do this? Like it's two completely different things. You go to this, if that's your experience, you're like, yeah, this is great. I love this. I want to be a part of this. But if you're reaching out to this one and you're clearly trying to make the effort to be a part of it, make your kids a part of it.
Right.
And they're like, we don't.
Which blows my mind because whether it's religion or business, which Catholic Church is a little bit of both, it doesn't make sense for them to push you away in either sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you believe in the Bible and what the Bible says, you wouldn't push away someone who's trying to come to Jesus.
Right.
And if you're a business and you want people to join your church, you wouldn't push away someone that's trying to come to your church. Like neither one of those makes sense to me. So it's just so crazy to me, like how someone morphs this weird and when you said the Catholic thing, like that's what sticks out to me. And I feel so bad because I'll attack it every time. Somebody will push back on this and it's fair. And I'm not an expert. I've read the Bible to an extent and I try to continue to read the Bible. The Bible's very clear that there are no like levels to the church, right?
Exactly.
They're not. The Catholic Church is very clear that there are levels to the church, which is directly against the Bible that I've read. So when someone talks to me about Catholicism, it's really hard for me to follow it and to I know that we all believe in the same guy, right? Yeah. But it's just hard for me to connect with it. I don't know. This is the religious part.
This might be the realest conversation we've ever had on this podcast. It only took.
Well, it's all like you said. It's all about perspective. Like I grew up Christian, and my wife grew up Catholic, and so, but she did experiment like in the Baptist church, and she had a horrible experience, and like it was always like you said, it was forced like was forced for her to go all the time, and she just had bad experiences when she was there. But I had the opposite effect. I would go every Sunday with my family, but I'd have great experiences. And then we do the Wednesday services where you get to like meet with your friends and learn Bible verses and play little games. And then you go to like Bible camp and you do all kinds of stuff. So I had a great experience. Mm-hmm. So, but for her, just depending on different churches she went to, or just, depending on who it got taught to her by, it steered her away from that and kind of made her perspective of like everything not in a bad way, but just in a different way, in a different light than someone like me who had the good experience and was able to take it for more than what it is and actually enjoy it and actually learn everything about it. So it's just kind of like Russ said too. It's like, it's all about perspective and who's teaching it, and just ultimately, your experiences of the entire aspect and really how you take it in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know. It's funny because someone who's been in that situation, right? Like someone who's been in a negative situation, it's hard to pull them away from that because that's just what they know. Yeah. Like they just know.
Because it's like, but it wasn't like this, and then they're like, yeah, but for me it was. And you're like, just try.
They just look at. So it's another thing. So like, it's funny. I think I was talking to you guys earlier about the solo podcast thing. I talked about starting a solo podcast. My solo podcast that I want to start is about this topic, right? And the title of it was going to be The Struggle with Salvation, and it's because of all these things, right? Like bad experience in church and being imperfect and needing to understand that we're not perfect and all these things. I think like people in that situation, it's so difficult to pull them out of it because they look at this thing that's supposed to be helpful. It's supposed to be good. And it's just like marred and like kind of ripped apart by evil and negative things. And my feelings on that is that it's like, that's the world we live in, right? Like there's so much evil in the world. And there's so many things that you're going to face like that. Mm-hmm. And you have to find a way to overcome it. And I truly believe that the Bible and Jesus is a way to overcome it. But if that's all you know is negativity around it, then it's hard to push through that. It's hard to say, I'm going to keep going back to that. I'm going to keep going back to the well, right? Yeah. This thing that hurt me or this thing that was bad for me, I'm going to keep going back to it, just slightly different, right? Like, I'm going to keep doing cocaine, but it's a different, or I'm going to keep smoking weed. It's a different strain, right? Like, it's hard to keep going back to that in a human sense. I also think it's difficult because like people look at Christians as like weirdos. We're weird, right? Like even this conversation, somebody listens to this conversation that's had this experience, it's had a bad experience, hears me talking. Guy's fucking weird. Weirdo. I'm cursing. That's not Christian. Yeah. I'm drinking. That's not Christian, right? I'm not perfect. And I know these things. I'm a weirdo for different reasons, okay? I'm not a weirdo because of that.
Yeah. Oh my.
Anyways, move on. Or don't move on.
Am I a terrible parent for not being that impressed with my kid graduating pre-K?
I mean, no. It's pre-K.
My wife messaged me yesterday. She's like, "What'd you get your son for graduation?" And I know that she already got him like a little, like, I don't know, like a stuffed star that she's getting embroidered or something. I'm like, I was like, did we not get him a gift from the both of us? And she was like, well, it's just this. What else are we getting him? And then my immediate reaction was, the text said, how much more? It's pre-K. Like, the kid didn't choose to go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who controls whether or not he passes from pre-K to kindergarten?
Right. It's not a pass-fail thing, first off. It's a, hey, this school doesn't offer this anymore. Yeah. Get out. Is really what it is.
And what school does he go to?
Yeah, hers.
Exactly. I was waiting for you to tell me. Well, I guess don't tell me the name of it. Obviously, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
But to be clear, your wife.
But it's not just her. This is all pre-Ks are like this.
No, I know. But in your specific son's case, I wanted to point out that your wife decides whether or not this kid passes or fails.
But it doesn't. There is no pass fail. They're not taking tests. They're not doing nothing. You simply graduate because they no longer offer services
Right.
for you.
Yeah.
Well, technically they do. You come back and after school, whatever. But
You've aged out.
you've
Get-
aged out
get
of this. Instead of it's our nice way of saying goodbye.
Right.
So next year after kindergarten,
Yeah. So what's happened? See, that's the kindergarten. I'd be more impressed with kindergarten than pre-K, but I'm still like,
Why? Like, yes, but why?
we got to get to the. You can't be that. Sure, I'll get you a little gift, whatever. But
Well, first of
it's
all-
because everybody else is getting their kids gifts that we have to get our kids gifts.
Yeah. Well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't
You,
cave.
listen, you
It's
don't
cultural.
get people birthday gifts, so we know where you're at.
I do sometimes. Okay.
Just fucking with you. But it's not worth a celebration until you get to the points where not everybody does it. High school, not everybody graduates high school. Okay,
Yeah.
we can start to celebrate. Junior high, maybe.
Yeah. We didn't even have a real kindergarten. We just did the whole kindergarten thing. They didn't even have a graduation. A lot of schools do the whole cap and gown thing, and I've always laughed at it. Their school didn't, and I was like, "This is good."
We have a
They-
graduation picture in our house now.
Why?
Well, first off, it's adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, great. Yeah, pictures of young kids are adorable.
It's
That's
adorable.
great.
I do like the picture. I enjoy it very much. And I'm gonna he's gonna sing some songs. I'm gonna enjoy
That's
this
great.
ceremony. But
It's a celebration, not a graduation.
yeah.
it's exactly what
Think of it
is.
that way.
It is a celebration. Then they should call it that.
They should.
They should call
Our
it a
school was very
celebration.
clear. They were like, "This is not a graduation because they're just moving on to the next level."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's what a graduation." is
I
for
mean,
sure.
I would like him to feel like he's accomplishing something, but what am I supposed to do?
That's what the gift is for.
Well, like we're gonna do the thing. He's gonna get gifts. We're gonna go to lunch. We're gonna do this.
So you
and
don't
that.
buy him a Switch?
I bought myself a Switch that
There we
he's
go.
gonna end up playing with.
Oh, my
But-
kid plays mine more than me.
It's I don't know. It's like a.
Where are you taking them for lunch? That's what I want to know.
I asked him where he wants to go. I'm leaving it up to him.
Weird.
Well, that
They're
was the
not
thing.
weird,
My
but-
wife's like, "Do you want to take him to lunch?" And I think all the family's going to go. I'm like, "Well, here's the thing: are we going somewhere he wants to go, or are we choosing?" It's like if he chooses, we're probably ending up at like Chuck E. Cheese or Chili's. Which,
Make
if
it
that's
something-
what he
You
wants,
gotta make it something special for the.
Triple dip.
he also could just choose Costco. Like he loves their pizza. I don't know, but
Okay.
if it's for him, it should be his choice, should it not?
Sure.
Like I'm okay with going to.
I wish I had a son because I have a daughter, right? And I was like, "Hey, let's go to Coffee Rainy," and she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And we're getting there, and she's like, "I want to go to Odelia," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like twice the price point, but let's do it."
Oh,
Yeah.
my daughter would love that shit. Coffee Rainy.
Well,
I
we
mean,
went
her
to
name is
Odelia.
Rainy.
Oh,
She would
there
love
you
it. Oh, coffee shop.
my kids may also like it.
go. That's true.
So my
The
kids may
Rainies.
also like it.
The Rainies.
Have you ever been to Coffee Rainy with your kids?
No,
What the fudge?
I should.
Ripple?
I guess I should.
Anyways,
I was just gonna say like it's the only thing that I'm looking at it as is it's like now I like these days I can just take them out of school or whatever, and this is kind of like our last day of that being able to really be a thing until like summers, school's out
Sure.
in the summers or whatever. So that's kind of sad, but as far as it being a graduation, I'm like, how much money do I need to go spend on a gift here? Like, what's a gift? I guess that's my question. My question to y'all: what is the gift that I should be getting?
What is their perception of a gift?
Like, should
guess?
I just like is just gonna buy him a few Hot Wheels and calling it a day?
Yeah.
Like, is that okay? Or does it need to be? It
Maybe
can't
do
be
like a-
graduation gifts. What is? There's not. Can't buy him a notebook.
Maybe
He's
do
not like you know what I mean?
Maybe do like a day out, just y'all.
Like that.
Like go eat, go watch a movie, do something like that.
I like
Like you
that.
said, celebration of pre-K.
There you go. Maybe.
Go
I
watch
just don't know
Lilo
what's
Let's
and
go
Stitch.
celebrate you.
Like as a
Getting
high
out of
school
pre-K.
graduation, my mom got me a laptop for college,
that's way different. But yeah.
right? But you know, like you
I have my laptop.
college
You made it through
graduation.
a lot.
College graduation, I got you get money and things to go into life,
Mhm.
right? So like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to get this kid to go into kindergarten?
Nothing.
Colors, crayons. Your child's in kindergarten. What does she
Well,
use?
she just celebrated her movement to first grade. Okay, I want to be clear, very clear. on
Whatever.
this.
I don't know. I feel like a bad parent.
Well, for her kindergarten celebration, she didn't really get much. I didn't get her anything, to be fair. Her grandmother did, but her grandma, all their grandmother. I don't know if you heard that, but her grandmother also gets her stuff when she like goes to Chick-fil-A. So like, she stubbed her toe. Oh, here you go. Here's 7 presents. Like,
we're all in agreement that these kids get gifts for this because all the other parents buy gifts, right?
yes, and it's stupid.
All right.
Guilt trip.
Yeah, but to be clear, my daughter, you probably saw it today. She got a stuffed animal with a graduation cap. Dumb. Hate it. Got a freaking 500 other stuffed animals here. We actually threw away 5. Total meltdown today. She also got what else? She got like a notebook, a bag.
Do I get him a backpack?
Sure.
Yeah, get him a backpack for kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So to be fair, that's what Dylan uses. Is her backpack. Yeah, but then when she went to
Backpack
school,
and a new lunchbox. That's what we're doing.
a backpack and a lunchbox. Yeah, but when they go to school, especially in this year, I don't know if it's the same next year. They gave her everything. It was like, oh, it's paid for. There were grants and like, you don't have to pay for anything. I was like, oh, okay. They gave her
The North Shore, huh?
binder. They gave her crayons. I was like, oh, they free lunch all year, no matter what your income is. I was like, we live in a good area. Why are we getting free lunch?
Yeah.
I get it. Thank you. But like, there's probably other people that could use this.
My brother this is still on topic of school. My brother in Alabama has to have a clear backpack
Oh, wow.
and has to leave his phone in his locker all day long.
That is just a huge safety violation. That's how I see it.
The phone.
The phone.
Yeah. My brother got mad because he was buying things of Doritos and reselling them, and now he can't do that out of his backpack. So that's why he was mad.
Maybe he's just really hungry.
But
I mean, he could. I used to have a mesh backpack where I used to do the same thing.
But I know. But that's why he was mad. But I do think I understand the clear thing to an extent. But also like that feels unnecessary. The phone thing is a bit crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I understand you don't want them to be on like that's we've all went to school with phones. We're in that age.
Hell, I had a Netstel walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
That was a son of a bitch
Had a lot
to
of
go
friends
off.
that had those.
because of how. So it's kind of funny because like we know the reason the bags are clear because of how crazy the world is.
Yeah.
My brother has a phone at school because of how crazy the world is. You know what I mean? Like, so he could get in touch with my mom for emergencies.
Yeah.
So it's like it's you're playing both sides here.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
I don't get the phone thing.
It's because it's just because they don't want them on their phones. It's
Yeah.
we've all texted in class and done that.
Yeah, but
whole
that's
thing.
school.
So then, like, let there be rules around that.
Yeah.
Like, they can still have a phone. Don't just say, "Oh, you can't have phones at all," because, like, I feel like that's maybe a safety issue. Like,
That's the main thing I see. And it's like, oh, if something goes down, how can I get in contact with my family?
Yeah.
well, you can't.
Yeah.
It's 1995. Congrats.
Yeah. I just thought that was so they brought that up. She told me that a long time ago, and I was like, "What? Like that's nuts."
Yeah. Speaking of nuts,
Mm. Ooh.
I was just gonna ask what your favorite candy bar was, but I had to pause for a second.
Almond Joy.
I feel like
That's not my
I
favorite.
feel like we've gone full circle with this conversation.
Yeah. Because we
Well,
talked about
Butterfingers.
this. We talked about this an hour.
Or do I
one.
have to say the cookies and cream so you don't get mad at me?
No, was that your favorite candy bar? I thought we had like
No, my favorite candy bar
ice
is
cream?
is a Butterfinger. But you got mad at me when I said that because you're like chocolate.
That's true.
Cookies and cream.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
I was trying to change the conversation.
Butterfinger.
I
The
like
best
I like the
candy.
Hershey with the almonds.
Hershey's with the almonds.
Yeah.
Huh?
Those are good.
Put them in the freezer. Fantastic.
Freezer. Fucking crack a tooth. Not the fridge, but the
I was also
freezer.
trying to get Aaron back involved because Aaron's been quiet for a minute. So I was like, what can get him talking?
I don't know. I like Twix.
Tell me about cutting grass.
Which side of the twits?
Oh, it's that time of year again.
Right side, left side.
Goodness. Yikes. I'm trying to cut down a tree, but I'm afraid it's going to kill me. So there's that.
Why? What, yeah, tell me more about
It's not this. It's not a big tree at all. But I started chopping it down the other day. It's a pine tree that's growing, and I wanted to cut it down before it becomes a real pine tree.
Sure.
Right? It's probably about 20 feet tall now, but it's heavier than I realized because I cut one of the branches off and the branch was kind of heavy. I was like, this fucking tree is heavier than I think it's gonna be. And I was like,
Do you need help cutting down this tree?
no, I just need my wife to pull the rope just in the opposite direction to make sure it doesn't. The truth is, I don't want it to fall on my fence and fuck my fence up. That's the whole thing.
And your wife won't pull the rope?
She doesn't want to go behind the fence because we don't know what's back there. But dogs keep trying to get under there. There's something behind the fence right now.
You know what?
Anyway.
When you have these conversations, you tell me these things. I immediately understand why when we talk about apocalypses, you're just ready to die.
I was cutting the tree down, and then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this with nobody else home, just to be safe.
Oh, you do it when nobody's home to be safe.
What?
You said do it when nobody's home?
No, I said maybe I shouldn't do this when nobody's home to
Okay.
be safe, in case something goes wrong.
About to say you were sounding like
Because
my
it's
buddy.
not a big tree. Like it's a tree that I could push with one hand and chop at the same time if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I know to do the wedge thing and then on the fall side and do the thing.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
I just keep.
It can go wrong, is what I'm saying here.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And do I want my last moments on earth to be ended by a tree? I don't think so.
That's good.
So I actually didn't volunteer her. I was like, I need somebody to come help me cut down this tree. She was like, I'll do it. I said, okay. But then she doesn't want to do the part I need her to do. That's a whole situation. She's like, I could do the chopping. I was like, I don't think so.
Again.
Because I don't have, first off, my chainsaw, the chains is dull. We're chopping this. It's not that thick of a tree. We're just going to chop it. I don't trust my wife with a hatchet or an axe.
Is that the hurricane chainsaw?
Hmm?
When they were giving out like hurricane
Yeah,
chainsaws
it
and
is.
generator.
I finally, my grandpa used it enough to dull down my chain. Anyway,
So if you were in an apocalyptic situation
yeah.
and you told someone, hey, I really need you to go do this, otherwise we're going to die and I'm going to do this. And they said, I don't want to do it because I don't know what's over there.
Well, in that situation, I would just do it.
Like-
because it
Who cares about the fence? I guess.
it's a life or death situation. This isn't a life or death. If the tree grows, the tree grows. I have a tree. I just don't want the tree.
What if it killed you?
The other issue is, though, I did start chopping it, and now
Committed.
I'm more in a strong gust of wind. It's just going to knock the tree over.
Yeah, that feels like that's like an hour thing. It doesn't feel like, hey, I'm gonna start chopping the tree down and just go back inside.
Again, not that big of a tree. It's only like this.
It was 20 feet.
Genuinely feel
Well,
like this is
it's a
going to take
pine
them
trees.
10 minutes.
It is not going to take that long, especially because I already started it.
It's just, it's about placing where it falls.
Yeah.
and then
This is like
chopping
an
it up.
hour work, and
It's not an hour work. It's only going to be, it would take him longer to get to my house than it would be to get this tree down.
This sounds
It's literally
ridiculous.
just making sure it falls in the right
What do
direction.
you do with it after? You just throw it behind the fence?
Yeah, I want it to fall behind the fence and just be in the woods. I'm worried about what happens then. There's all kinds of shit back there. Again, that's why my wife.
Which is why his wife won't go back there.
There's a pool. There's a kiddie pool that's been behind my fence for 10 years because they just left it back there.
oh, the
Murders.
snakes in that thing are about to be
Oh.
like this big.
I lifted it once to because they were clearing out the fences and I was going to throw it back there and let them clear it out. I lifted it. There were 3 of them. I was like, nope. We're just going to, this pool lives here now.
That's fair.
My neighbor found a copperhead in his garage the other day.
Yeah. That's good.
You know what the scary part is? He found it there in the morning. It was there all night.
Oh, okay.
It was just it wasn't like, middle of the day he had his garage open and just kind of wandered in. It was in his house all night.
Mhm.
And then he went to open the door and it was just there.
Yeah, those are
So that's great.
not safe.
I don't love that. So this is coming to an end.
Yeah, we've been talking for a long time.
I got one thing.
Now you had one thing?
one thing.
What?
Every
Fucking
time I
2
tried to
hours.
talk, you
That's
had
true.
something.
I did
Listen,
not.
you got to if you're gonna come on here, you got to just get in where you fit in.
Patty, why do you hate music ringtones?
Oh yeah, he did one.
Jesus Christ, this is when you bring this up?
Yeah, what?
This
Yeah.
is fucking stupid. That's
Why do
my
you-
case in
Why,
point.
why do you hate them? Why?
They're stupid.
But for what reason?
They're loud.
Don't you want something nice for when you get a call or your alarm in the morning?
No.
You want to know what I wake up to every morning?
Sounds
me a
like
fucking
something
call.
terrible.
That's a good question. What do you wake up to?
Give me a
fucking
fucking
know
call.
an
Do you
alarm.
do the like PTSD?
Also, this was about
iPhone.
ringtones, not alarms.
You want to know
I
what
wanna be
pisses
clear.
people
Yeah, but-
off every time I have to wake up or a fucking alarm goes off?
What? You need me to call you? So
Yeah.
this is so stupid.
Somebody's gonna hear this.
Oh, they will.
Put it to your thing.
This is so fucking dumb.
God, I hope this is
I'm gonna
terrible.
cringe when I hear this.
I hate you. I'd fight you. That's your alarm?
In my ringtone.
If I'm in public
Yeah.
and this goes off, I'm gonna look at you and
You know what?
and just be
I
like,
love it at work.
What
You know
is
what?
your
though?
alarm?
I might hit the.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, when when I'm in the office, when I'm in the office and it's going off, I will wait for it to into it and just like I believe.
He knows he would.
100%. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So for a second, I was like, "This is so fucking stupid," and then he's like, "I'm gonna if I'm
gonna do it."
walking around a grocery store, I don't even know you, and your phone goes off, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then I hear it, and I'm like,
Would you do the clap? Yeah,
I'm
see?
clapping.
He hated that you brought this topic back up again, but it turned into a beautiful situation.
But I still hate ringtones. I'm gonna be very fucking
What is
clear.
your waking up alarm?
What?
What is your waking up alarm?
know.
Just
It's-
one of the stock.
It's
whatever
one of
it
the
is?
stock like boo, 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 or whatever.
See,
the-
I would
you know.
kill myself. if
Mine
that was
has
the
to be
ringtone.
something loud.
They're all dumb,
I know.
They all
That's why I
suck.
got that one.
but it's
Mine's
just to
exhausting.
wake you up.
I made Joe Hendry money.
I'm not trying to wake up at 3 p.m. on a Friday. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to just live my life.
But he's famous in London
Anyway,
and Paris.
I love that you. I'm so happy you admitted that you would do the clap though,
I would do the clap.
because
Oh, I wait for it.
he hated it. He
clap.
hated the ringtone so much. Anyway,
I do the clap
Not
and
gonna
then I
lie.
answer it. And it's like, hey, what's up? Just to piss people off.
But I'm gonna be very clear here. I heard it twice. I'm fighting you.
Oh, that's why I hate the spam calls.
I'm gonna fight you. The first time I'm like, wow, I'm clapping with it, and then like 10 minutes later it rings again. I'm gonna turn around and be like, yo,
to Patty's point, and to put a bow on this, even the best ringtones get annoying after a while.
Well, the problem is it ruins. If it's especially it's a song that you like, it'll ruin the song.
Yeah.
Because you're like, man, I really love this song. I want it as my ringtone, and then every time you hear that song, you're like, feels like someone's calling me.
Yeah.
It just ruins the song.
And at the end of the day,
Fiends.
none of us want to talk to anybody. So
also to be very clear, there's another part of this that I don't even think we talked about last time. Don't call me.
Yeah. Text me. Shoot a Facebook message.
Yeah. I had a friend today.
Fucking carrier pigeon for all I give a shit.
Exactly.
Don't talk to me.
So we had a crawfish boil today, and I had a friend that called me. Never called me before.
Wait,
Called
you
me
had
today.
You had a crawfish boil today?
Don't ask. Don't ask. I was very shocked though when this person called me, and I realized they called me, and I missed the call, and I was like, do I have to call them back? They've never called me before. We've been friends forever.
Yeah.
We have never talked on the phone. Do I call them back? It's a whole thing. Don't call me. Just text me.
Leave the voicemail message, and then I'll respond in a text to your voicemail
Listen.
message.
Send a voice message over text if you really
Yeah.
need to.
oh no.
I don't like that either.
I
That's
was
fair.
driving with a buddy
Lord,
of
I
mine
told
and he
you.
was
Did I
messaging
tell you about
somebody.
this?
They
Your grandma.
refused to
Man.
text him. And every message that came in was a voice message. And it's like,
Oh,
can
that's
she not
annoying.
My-
fucking text?
My grandma has discovered how to send voice memos, and I thought it was gonna. And the thing is, she's a good texter.
Mhm.
Like she doesn't text like an old lady. She's a good texter.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we got to this point, but she discovered the voice memos, and now it's nothing but. And the translate, at least now it tries to translate it when they send them to you in the text.
But is it still like it's an audio message?
It's an
right?
audio message,
Okay.
but it does translate. It shows like the first few
Okay.
things. Like
Yeah.
you know how you,
Because my mom does the whole like voice to text thing.
oh no,
and good lord,
No.
I hate it.
Oh, I hate talking to the wall.
But I would prefer
hate it.
I would prefer that because it comes through as a text. Now I got to
But it's
listen. to
wrong
messages.
90% of the time.
But at this point, she's just sending audio message. Like, just call me at that point. I don't want to, like, there's certain people I'm willing to talk to on the phone. My grandma's one of them. Just call me. If we're doing audio messages, just call me. Also, love Darius to death. He used to only FaceTime. Only FaceTime. And that was miserable. I'm not trying to.
I think that's so. There's a lot of younger folks that FaceTime and they don't even look at each other. And I'm like, why don't you just
My brother does that.
Put it on
Oh, you just throw it like on the bed and just
Throw it on
They
the phone.
FaceTime
It's
and just like put it down.
It's like having it on speakerphone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
to
just
me.
put it on speakerphone or just text me and I'll text
Yeah.
you back.
Mhm.
My brother does that with his girlfriend all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not. She's not even on the phone. Like her camera face down to her pillow. Your camera looking at your ceiling. What are we doing? Who are you talking to? are you even talking to each other? Or is it just like, hey,
No, sometimes they're just hanging out.
I don't
Were
understand.
they even
young
talking
people.
at all? Not even
Fall
looking at
asleep,
each other.
FaceTiming.
Yeah.
They were talking, and it was the greatest.
It was the best conversation.
The best.
Anyway.
The greatest.
I'm putting an end to this episode. The second episode
Second episode.
of this. Aaron, wrap us up however you so choose. I think there's a pretty clear way to do it this week.
Thanks for listening. Some would say the best podcast, the biggest podcast. Tune in next week. We'll be bigger, better, bigger than Biden's podcast for sure. Love you. Bye. Until next time. Deuces.